Hello, everybody. It is Friday, October 18th, and I'm coming to you live from downtown Jersey City. As you can see, I've got the Freedom Tower behind me. I have Matt Vanfossen in front of me, and this is Real Estate Talk, TGIF, episode 69. 68 weeks in a row. We're got a great run going, and this is episode 69 with Matt Vanfossen. Real Estate Talk, TGIF. You know what TGIF stands for?
Thank God it's Friday.
Nope. Thank God it's finale. And here I am. It's also Friday. It's also Friday. And this is a great day. I'm just going to celebrate today because today my daughter's getting married in about 5 hours. And so I'm really excited. 6 hours. I'm really excited. This is a great place to do it. So, Matt, tell me, Matt Vanfossen is with Absolute Mortgage, right? Absolute Home Mortgage. You're the COO. Is that correct?
Now the CEO. I got a promotion.
Oh, you're the CEO. So I wasn't sure because you had different profiles and CEO, COO. Wasn't sure which one was
I'm
today.
still working on updating all of them. Yeah, it's been a year and they gave me the new title.
Good job. Good job. So tell us about you. I mean, CEO of a huge mortgage company. Tell me your story. And then we're going to get into talking about affiliate relationships.
Yeah, so this is my 15th year doing lending. I started my career as a loan officer in New Jersey, and I worked my way up to a branch manager position, and then I decided to open my own company about 10 years ago, and it's been a really great ride. As you know, I'm a very hands-on manager, so I think that a lot of the success we've seen at Absolute has been that I've always been pulling the rope with my staff. I always try to include them on business decisions and provide some really great support. So, the past 10 years of my career has really been about building a business, right? And trying to think outside of the box. Traditionally, the real estate industry can be a little antiquated with technology, and it just so happens that my background is technology. It's that's what my education is in, and I've always tried to mix finance and technology together at the mortgage company, and now I'm trying to mix three pieces: finance, technology, and marketing together, right? Digital marketing. So I think that's a lot has to do with the success at Absolute is been that vision of not just a finance or a mortgage company, but a technology marketing company as well.
That's really, really so cool. So cool. And you and I have met over the years at different events, and which kind of prompts what we're going to talk about today, which is affiliate relationships. And everybody, I want you to know that I may have to move because I'm running out of power. So I'm going to move inside, but we're going to keep it going. We're not going to lose continuity here. So talk to me about affiliate relationships with boards of realtors, with MLSs, with all different kinds of affiliate relationships you can have. Tell me how they can really build a business.
Sure. I think that the affiliations with the boards are an essential part to a loan originator that's trying to build a purchase business, or anybody that's a third party involved in real estate transactions that are trying to build. But there's a lot of misconceptions that are out there. There's definitely value. I mean, I'll tell you, one of the biggest values is this, what we're doing right now. Dave, I met you through a board affiliation relationship. If I wasn't affiliated with GBAR, or at that time, the Eastern Bergen board, we would have never met, right? And what happened is I put my time in. I started as a base affiliate. I started understanding what options were available, what opportunity options were available through the affiliation. We started taking advantage of networking events and education events, and the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Now, looking back 6 years later, because that's what when I started, I was first an affiliate of the Eastern Bergen board 6 years ago. Some of my best friends, not only best business connections, but best friends in life, have come from these affiliations. George Ledesma is a perfect example of that. George and I are very, very close friends now, and our careers have progressed together. And I consider you as well a very close friend. And, those started from these affiliations. And, I have this theory that I train my salespeople on, is that there's nothing that can tear down a friendship. When you can cross over a business relationship into a friendship and you build off of that, the next salesperson that comes in is going to have a much more difficult time earning business, because people work with who they trust. They work with who are close to them and who are passionate about not only themselves, but others as well. And I think that the board affiliations open up the opportunity for that, but it's about you and what you make of it that really matters.
Right. So we talked about the other day, we're getting ready for this. We talked about there are several different things at boards of realtors that there's opportunity, right? So there's lots of opportunities, you said, but there's three major ones. Let's go over three major types of things that people can get involved in when they have an affiliate relationship.
Sure. So I guess the first one would be, well, the three is education, right?
Right.
Events and sponsorship,
Right.
right? Those are your three opportunities through a board affiliation. So let's talk about events for a moment. There's a lot of events. Every week, the boards have events going on. And you could do sponsorship events, but let's talk about a couple of event types. Circle of Excellence, right? The end of the year is coming. We're going to start seeing end of year numbers for 2019. The first quarter of 2020, we'll see our Circle of Excellence event for the board. Now, this type of event is a great event to attend, right? You get to see who the top producers are of that board, who you should be networking with. But it's not just about attending events. See, there's pitfalls in this as well. So many affiliates show up to an event, right, and they grab a sponsorship table, right? The Circle of Excellence is a circle of sponsors and a circle of affiliates that are around. And something that I've always noticed is people stay in their comfort zone at events. They talk to the people that they already know and are not communicating and trying to build relationships with those that they do not know. And this is a pitfall for the reason that you, as an affiliate, you spend money to be an affiliate, right? You spend money to go to an event, the ticket for that event. Well, if you're going to try to get a ROI, a return on investment, well, it's up to you. The event is the opportunity. It opens the door for you, but it's still up to that salesperson to capitalize and go out there and network and be out of their comfort zone and not stay in their comfort cluster of the connections they already have, but try to make new connections as well.
Exactly. So you have the events, and then you have education and sponsorship. Talk about those, if you would.
Yeah, so education, my favorite is education. If there is one thing that the affiliations at the board did to change my business and my company around, it was education. It's where we really got to flex our muscles. Why? Because when you get to do an education event, you now become the expert. And I've put together a series of technology education systems. We're a mortgage company, but we never do mortgage education events. It's kind of funny. We're always doing technology marketing events for agents. We figured out ways to help agents get more business through technology marketing, and that's what we share our knowledge of. And we kind of say to our agents, hey, if we're this good at technology marketing, just think about how good we are at mortgages. And now agents, through our affiliations, when they see Absolute, when they hear Matthew, they immediately say, oh, I've been to one of Matthew's classes. I've been to one of Absolute's classes, and I learned the following. Wow, they're a really impressive company. When you get to go up and be the presenter and be the expert, people look at you in a different light. So what I think that the benefits of education are getting that expertise and getting that recognition, but there's pitfalls in those as well, right? A lot of companies and a lot of salespeople will do a sponsored education event, right? They'll hire a presenter and say, we're going to bring a presenter in today to talk about social media. And the presenter gets up and says, I want to thank Absolute Home Mortgage for sponsoring today's event, and gives a 2-hour presentation. Well, what's the expectation here? That because somebody attended this event, they're going to automatically refer me mortgages?
No,
I don't think that it works that way. You need the event, or the education event is the opportunity. It's about how you convert. How do you take those contacts and take the content of the education event and now convert that into one-on-one meetings? How do we convert that to a cup of coffee where we can get to know each other and actually apply the education?
Right. So being there and being involved, and you're getting the education and you're giving value. I think that's what we're talking about here, is giving as much value. Like when I'm doing my programs, I'm giving as much value as I can. Someone asks me a question, I give as much value as I can. And I'm not doing it I'm just being me. And that's exactly what you're doing as an outgoing individual and an outgoing company. And let's face it, I mean, you can be an introvert in our business, but it also helps to be a little bit out there. Would you agree with that?
100%, 100%. You need to be out there. If you're not good at building relationships, then you might need to find a different avenue to try to get business for the reason that it's all about networking. It's about consistency more than anything. You can't show up to one event or do one education seminar and expect business is just going to flow in.
Right.
It's more about, and this kind of leads into sponsorship too. When you first become an affiliate, what you really need to focus on is going back week after week, month after month, and capitalizing on every single opportunity. Once people get to see your face and they see your company, and this happens not month after month, but it's month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year, it takes a solid year or two to develop that foundation. And once you have that foundation, now it allows you to really build and grow and maximize your referral and business development opportunities. Our relationship is a perfect example of that. We've done real estate events together, but I reached out to you last month and said, hey, Dave, I need a lot of help. I need a great presenter to come down to educate mortgage people.
Right.
And we saw that our relationship evolved from an affiliation, right, to a friendship, to now business opportunity. We're out of Matt the mortgage guy asking Dave for business, and now it's I need Dave to be a presenter to expand his business, right, to other industries as well. And that's how it evolves, and the companies grow together now.
Exactly. And as you move
But it started
forward,
with opportunity, right? It started with an affiliate opportunity.
and it didn't just start with one of these three things. It started with all of them together, right? So then we go to the last one of sponsorships. And if you're just going to sponsor something and expect that to do anything for you, it's not going to work. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Talk about how they all three work together.
Yeah, so the sponsorships are funny. Again, I don't think that, and they're not cheap either, right? It's $500 to get a page in, or sponsor a cocktail hour, or to get a couple $100 to get a full page in a gala handout flyer, right?
Right.
The expectation cannot be that it's not an ROI where I spend $500 to put my logo on something and now people are going to immediately send us business. I look at sponsorship as my babysitter. Okay. Sponsorship is there for me when I may not be able to, but it takes years of foundation. I had to use the other two. I needed to do the education events or the education seminars and attend a lot of networking events to get my name out there in conjunction with sponsorship. Now I go to board events. A lot of people know my company name. So I can't now that my foundation is built, I can't be at every event. But I can use a sponsorship as a babysitter. If I can't go to the gala, I'm still going to sponsor the gala. Why? Because they will see the logo and they'll remember Matthew. They'll remember Sean. They'll remember absolute salespeople, even though we're not there because the foundation has already been established.
Right. And one of the things that everybody needs to understand, too, about what you've done, I mean, I don't think you were at the gala last year or the year before. I don't remember. Is that one you weren't at? Right. I mean,
there was one I wasn't at. I didn't go last year because our holiday party was the same day.
Right. And you were conspicuous by your absence in a good way because people said, well, they're sponsoring. Where are they? I said, it's their holiday party tonight. They kind of got it mixed up, but here they are. But you were noticed by not being there, which you had already invested in time, in money, in effort, in education, in all these things that came together. So what would you say to someone starting out, either a realtor or a mortgage person, a loan officer, to start doing these things? What would you say that they should start doing?
Well, any good plan comes with a business plan, right? You have to map it out and you have to understand the investment that you have to make and have to make a business decision yourself that I'm going to not only make this financial investment, but I'm going to make this time investment because there's sacrifice involved in it. A lot of networking events are happening after hours. You have to put your personal self to the side for a minute for your business. You need to understand that if you're really going to make an affiliation work, it's going to be night. It's going to be weekends. You're going to have to stay out late and maybe put some personal stuff to the side to build these relationships.
Right.
And when you do have opportunity, when the door is open, when you do go and do an event or you do a sponsorship, you have to leverage every connection that you have. One thing that we've always done great with is, let's say we sponsor a cocktail reception, like a YPN event, right? I love the YPN events because, everybody's hanging out. It's much about networking as having a good time. When I sponsor a YPN event, I don't just pay for the drinks. I actually use that as leverage with my current sphere of influence. I'll take that event that I'm sponsoring for the board or for YPN, and I'll send that to my entire networking audience and sphere of influence and say, hey, you should come to this event, right? Because I'm sponsoring it. What happens is now when people are networking at the event, oh, why'd you come? Oh, well, I know Matt was from Absolute was sponsoring it. I've known Matt for a very long time, and I wanted to come support him. You wind up with 10 or 15 soldiers in the crowd that are giving your elevator speech for you. So what I would say is maximize every opportunity, develop a plan, make a commitment, and also leverage your current connections to be your cheerleaders too.
Exactly. And you know what? It's doing the work too. I mean, it's not expecting somebody else to actually do it for you. A lot of people, I mean, over the years as a broker owner, for me, it was like, okay, so we're going to do something. I've got to do all the work. And I really didn't mind so much simply because I was the face of the company, right? And everybody saw me I was out there doing it. And everybody figured that if Dave's doing this, the rest of his company's doing it as well. So there's a lot of different things. So what do you see? All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. There's so many different things happening in our businesses. I mean, you're out there, you're face to face with people. And I use that phrase on purpose because there's so many things happening in our industry. The iBuyer thing, right? A lot of people need to understand what the I stands for. It's called instant. It's not internet, it's instant buyer. How do you see, I know we're making a total shift here, but how do you see this affecting your industry right now?
Well, I'm actually kind of nervous about it, to be honest, Dave, because for the past 15 years, I've built a purchase referral company. In mortgages, there's two types of mortgage companies. You have like a call center company that focuses on refinances, and these are like these call center pits, like a Wall Street pit that you would see, and they focus on internet business, right? And then there's purchase companies like my own. We're 95% purchase. We're 100% referral. Any refis that we do came from our previous purchase business. Well, guess where we get our business from? From real estate agents. I need real estate agents to continue to succeed because I have a reciprocal business. My business's lifeblood is supporting real estate agents and their business. So the iBuyer is a concern for the reason that if they're bypassing an agent and they're going direct, right? And I don't want to put any names out there, but there's tons of these brokers that are starting to emerge online that are going to consumer direct in real estate and are minimalizing the role of the agent. So I feel that it's really up to my agent partners to show value. And this is actually what a lot of our networking and education events are now on is how do you show value? How do you get people from understanding that you're not there just to take pictures and open a door? You're there to protect them. You're there to understand that this is a massive financial decision that you're about to make purchasing this house. And I'm here to help you. And not only help you, I'm here to protect you as well. So with the iBuyers, I think that there's always going to be a cheaper solution that some people can go to. But the vast majority of the industry and the vast majority of consumers still need guidance because they only do this transaction a couple of times in their lifetime. And it's up to our real estate agents to understand that there is a cheaper solution that's out there, but there's one differentiating factor, and it's them.
That's correct. That's correct. And this is that's such a great answer. You took everything in steps, and it was great because it's the value of that real estate agent, of that realtor, of that professional that's got to be out there. And it's not just transactional. And the ones I believe, the companies that will get a little bit of lose a little bit of business are going to be the ones that are all transactional, that they're thinking about the dollar first, the relationship last, right? And a lot of crap in the middle, right? So it's all the value that you give. And that's one of the things that in the programs that I have a new agent program, a part-time agent program, and an experienced agent program, where I talk about value, I talk about exposure, and I talk about how to be different than anybody else. It's what Absolute Mortgage and you are doing with your company that give the value to your customer. And your customer, here's the interesting part. I'm going to ask you this question because someone asked me this. And the question is, Matthew, ultimately the end user is the buyer. But don't you consider the real estate agent as well a customer at the same time? Tell me about how you feel about that.
So I believe that in my position, I have three customers. Okay. I have my consumer, I have my referral partner, my real estate agent, and I also have my salesperson, my loan officer. So whereas a loan officer wouldn't also have themselves as a customer, me in a management position, I have my salesperson as a customer too, because let's face the facts, there's a million mortgage companies out there. They can work for anybody. Why do they want to work here? Because I have three customers and each one of them need their own level of treatment and support in their own specific way, right? The agent needs trust. The client and support, right? And the client needs trust and support, and so does that loan officer. So it's really about how you treat them, how you service them, and that is what rolls up into what I call culture, right? The culture of the company, how the company is run, how the company understands their customer base.
Right. I think one of the things that you do, and we're gonna bring it completely full circle, is that as an affiliate relationship with a board or with anyone, you have that same type of relationship with a real estate professional. And I'm using the word professional. I'm not using the word agent, because the professional is the one that's going to understand it. Now, in my opinion, a professional is three things. They're a real estate agent, a technologist, and a constant creator of relevant content. You help with all of those things, and that's where you're giving value to the agent. You do an excellent job at it. Because I've watched you over the years, how we built our relationship, and I thank you for the relationship we have, because it's really cool. Because we have fun doing what we're doing together, right?
I think what you said it right there. You have to have fun in what you're doing, and that's what we've really tried to do is take a new spin on everything. Let's not make it boring. Let's make it easy to understand. Like something I always present about is systems that are free. I never want to come up with this great solution that's going to cost people a lot of money. I always want to come up with a basic solution that's low cost, easy to understand, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I said it earlier, I don't talk about mortgages a lot when we do these events because I always feel like, hey, let your loan officer do the mortgage work, right? I want you to have a general understanding, but I'm here to help you build. You shouldn't have to focus on building my business and learning about mortgages. I need to support my referral partner through my opportunity, through my affiliation. I need to provide value to their business. And when I provide that value, it needs to be fun, humorous, informative, and actually realistic, not a pie in the sky idea, a basic foundation. And I do it through education.
Exactly. So I want to ask you one other question, which is kind of sticky. I know over the years in my business, I've had mortgage people come to me, loan officers come to me, and I've had agents go to loan officers. How are they going to intertwine and how they're going to come together? And that's one of the things that we talk about. One of the things I've spoken about at events that you brought me into is how a loan officer can show value and how a realtor can show value. But do you think the days of not having value are over? Right? I mean, is it just about, for a lot of people, it's about the dollar. Do you think that's changing, or we're still going to see that?
I think that it is and it is not, right? It depends on the consumer. I think that consumers are changing, and what motivates a customer. Not all customers and not all consumers are the same. Some customers are okay with paying more for white glove service. Some customers don't care about service whatsoever if it's a lower cost.
Right.
So I think it's about identifying which of those consumers and what choices they want. As far as the loan officer agent relationship, it's funny, we were talking a couple of weeks ago about this. We have continuing education for loan officers. We have continuing education for agents. We have new agent orientation classes. We have new loan officer orientation classes. You know the classes that we should be teaching? When have you ever seen a conference or a class that's about, hey, how do agents and loan officers work better together? That's the classes that we need to start teaching. Is somebody's got to get up and say, hey, we're going to have a class and say, we're going to bring a bunch of loan officers together, a bunch of realtors. Let's teach you how to actually work together and be transparent. One thing that drives me nuts is when business partners lie to each other, right? Because they're scared. A loan officer holding back information from an agent on a transaction because they're scared to let them know of an issue. And a realtor not being understanding, or an agent not being understanding of that issue, and it causes their loan officer to want to hide it from them. We should have a 100% transparent relationship with each other and have the comfort of knowing I'm not as good as my last transaction, because that's the fear. That's why they're not 100% honest, is because they're nervous of scaring an agent away because an agent may not understand. So as long as agents start saying, hey, be transparent with me, I'm not going to make you as good as your last transaction. I just want to know things up front, right? That's the dynamic that needs to be there.
I mean, this is where our conversation kind of started a few weeks ago, was how, you said there's real estate conferences, mortgage conferences, and they both can be at both conferences, but there's never that intermingling of both businesses on how both should be transparent. And what you just said, I mean, that's going to be about 50% of transactions that I've seen where there's maybe a little bit of not a lot of information going back and forth. I think that was just a great thing to say. Matt, we're running into time now, and this has been really good. We've handled an awful lot of stuff, and the affiliate relationship stuff is really important. And I think you can learn from that and take from that so many great things, such as adding value. I think we'll always have that. And no matter what we're going to talk about, no matter what we're going to give out, adding value is what it's all about. Do you have any last bits of advice for loan officers or real estate agents, so as we move to the end of our time together?
Well, I know you have something very important today to do, so I'll make it quick. What I would say is it's what you put into it. The relationship or the affiliation is only an opportunity, but it's still up to you as a professional to dedicate your time, utilize your resources, maximize your connections, and you will get what you put into it, but you have to put your time in.
Absolutely. And Matt, if people want to communicate with you or get in contact with you, how do they do that? Give us your contact information, how they can find you.
So just Google me. That's it. Google Matthew Vanfossen, and you'll see two things. You'll see a singer from Ohio, and then the rest of it will be a mortgage professional. I'm not the mortgage guy. You can go just Google Matthew Vanfossen, and you will find all the contact information you need.
That's fantastic. So I want to thank you for coming on. I want to let everybody know that next week's going to be a very, very, very special show. I am actually going to be the guest, and I'm going to be interviewed by none other than my coaching friend, Sekou Pyle. But I wanted to make sure that Matt, that everybody, the reason everybody comes on this show, don't you?
Of course.
To get the hat, right? And this happens to be
that's why I want my hat.
You're going to get your hat. Everybody gets one of these that comes on the show. And if you've been on the show and haven't gotten it, let me know. Jeff Van Oat, Frank DePaul, all the other guys that haven't picked up their hats yet, it's coming. You got to come and get it. Anyway, so we're going to get you this hat. I want to thank everybody for coming on. Help me celebrate a great day today, October 18th. Matt, thanks for coming on. We'll see everybody.
Thanks, Dave.
Take care, everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Stay on, Matt.